They sound good. Eugene, Burton, James McRae, and Nico Rhodes together. They are a jazz trio, and we're hanging out. You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. There's a lot of creativity that takes place in this tiny little garage in central Nanaimo. I think it's our third time being here. The caliber of musicians that call this their rehearsal space is very, very high, and we're going to chat and hear from these three gentlemen later on this edition of Go Island. So who are these guys? You've collaborated on
yeah, it's three people that have come together to play original music. That we all write songs. Bass player Eugene, Nico on piano, and myself, we all write songs, and we have a passion for doing that, and we really enjoy the process of getting together with each other and focusing on our own composition.
Like that, why do it then? I mean, why not?
Because of the love of doing it. It's essentially, if you love something, you know, you keep on hoping that the money will follow after that, right? And even if it doesn't, the fact is that you can be passionate and really believe in something you're doing. That's probably the most valuable, you know, thing that you can be doing in life, is doing something you believe in and that you're really passionate and you love doing it. Because on some level, you're going to spread that energy around to the people that you're hanging out with and sharing your experience with, and that's going to be an uplifting thing. And that's really what I'm into, is doing something that's uplifting for myself and the world that I live in, you know, in every way. Yeah, that's pretty good, eh?
Well, thanks for bringing that. We're here in a tiny little rehearsal garage space. It's getting quite warm in here. And Eugene Burton's wearing a hat, and you said it's mostly for looks?
Mostly for looks, yeah. We're kind of a looks-based band, so to speak, you know, taking a little bit of Justin Bieber and One Direction and kind of melding that with jazz elements and even a little bit of Mozart in there. You know, he was quite the ladies' man of his day. Yeah, I mean, I'm the bass player of the group, and so as a bass player, you kind of have to hold everything together in a sense, like, especially between James and Nico. I mean, Nico is this phenomenal piano player who's just got like ideas galore that he throws out there, and James is right along with him. Usually they'll go in so many different directions throughout the course of one song, and one person's solo even. And I have to kind of keep the beat going and make sure everyone ends up where we want to at the end of it.
Well, it's kind of hard in a creative process because you don't want to put walls and limits on people when they're exploring an art.
You can kind of compare it to, I don't know if you're familiar with improv theater, but it's kind of the same. You always want to try and say yes to everyone. And musically, you want to try and follow everyone and kind of go along with them. But you also want to maintain a kind of individuality about your own playing and your own lines.
We're talking about composing, which is what you guys are doing in this trio.
Absolutely. One of the fun aspects about this trio is that everything, almost all the material we play is original material. So it's generally fairly equivalent in the band as to who's contributing. James and I write a little bit more than Eugene, but Eugene's are of such a fine quality. So we accept it. And it's really an opportunity for us to express our own musical ideas and then shed them as a group and try them together, rehearse them, collaborate on that, and that's pretty unique. There's not a lot of groups around that do that. So that's two different facets. You need to be playing, you need to be writing, you need to be arranging, and one of people I really am inspired by, Phil Dwyer. You know, he makes a lot of his living doing arrangements and composition, and that really clued something in for me. James actually was a huge motivator in that too. When I was younger in high school, he used to say, "Nico, you know, you got to write your own tunes. You got to write your own tunes." So thanks, James. And yeah, that's multifaceted is important. You know, playing multiple instruments, approaching multiple styles, never being confined to anything, and really just taking the time to experience all that music has to offer. Years. But what we're doing in this particular group is more akin to kind of a Keith Jarrett trio style concept. We're taking classical music and material like Bach's Goldberg Variations, Chopin Nocturnes, pieces by Debussy, and we're treating them in their original form, and then we're totally improvising and going crazy over them, but really respecting the original intent of the piece. So I think we have a fairly original approach to that, but we'll see how it turns out. Excellent.